So you can take your big toes together, knees wide as you like, and then fold forward. Your arms could be overhead. They could be at your side. You can wrap them behind your back. So we take a few moments at the start of practice to transition from our day. And as you breathe in today, expand not only through the front body if that's available, but also the side and the back body. Our theme for today focuses on motherhood and transformation. Just as a lotus flower blooms from the mud, you too are blooming through the beautiful mess of motherhood. Take this opportunity to set an intention for your practice today. Perhaps a short prayer, a mantra, an affirmation. So we'll begin our physical practice, and we're going to keep the lower body the way it is, but we're going to add a threaded needle. So you can slide your arms back if they're overhead and just come onto your elbows for a moment. We're going to take the right arm and thread it underneath the left, and then come down onto your right temple, and then reach your left arm so you can reach it forward. You can take it and rest it in your right palm. And then lastly, you can take it skyward and even wrap it behind your back. We'll unwind from the pose. We'll come back to that elbows, that transition. And now we'll take the left arm, slide it underneath the right. Come into whatever variation of threaded needle you'd like. We'll unwind from the pose, and again we're going to come back to the elbows, and we're going to realign the lower body. So we're going to draw the knees towards one another, so they should be about hip distance, and then we're going to rise up onto the knees and come back down onto the elbows. And your elbows are beneath your shoulders. Your forearms are parallel with the long edge of the mat, spread wide through your hands. And we'll take 3 rounds of cow and cat here. So on an inhale, drop the belly, look forward. Exhale, press through the forearms, round through the spine, lift the navel. Working with your own breath. come back to our on elbows, and from here we're gonna walk the knees back and then lower the pelvis to the mat, so we come into Sphinx. So we still are trying to stack the shoulders over the elbows, and here we press through the pelvis, draw the chest forward, crown of the head skyward. And we're gonna shift the weight to the left and reach the right arm forward, thumb facing the ceiling. We lower the right arm next to the left. We shift to the right and reach the left arm forward. We come back to Sphinx pose. We're going to draw the abdomen up and away from the floor and hold. Release the abdomen down, flare the elbows, lower the chest, sweep the arms back. We're gonna come into Salabhasana. So there's variation. So you can keep your hands, the back of your hands on the mat and lift your feet. You can lift your chest and your arms as well. You could also just lift the upper body and keep the feet on the mat. And maybe today we challenge the core a little bit more. We sweep the arms out to the side and overhead. And then sweeping them back out to the side, down at your sides. Take your hands to your the level of your chest. Lower your feet to the mat, and then lift your chest into low cobra pose. From here, we lower the chest, curl the toes, press back to down dog. We're just using this first down dog as a transition. So from your down dog, step your right foot outside your right hand, your left foot outside your left foot. Squat down into Malasana, and then just go ahead and sit down. Take the feet forward, we come into half boat. We did, some new book bite. More poison ivy, I just can't win.
They're so bad this year. Like, I feel like I say that every year, but
Okay, so here we're gonna lower everything down to the mat. We're gonna reach for a block and then lower down to our backs. So we'll continue with some core work. So take the block long, skinny way between your thighs. If you're at home and you don't have a block, you can use a book. So we're gonna just start, so hips and knees are bent, feet flat, close to the body. And we're gonna create some energy in the lower body. So go ahead and squeeze the block, but don't press through the feet just yet. Release the tension in the lower body, and we're gonna stack the knees over the hips. Take up space between your low back and the floor. Squeeze the block once again. Take your arms to goddess. So arms about the level of your shoulders, elbows bent about 90 degrees, palms face the ceiling. We're gonna inhale. On the exhale, straighten the right knee. Inhale, lower the right knee. Exhale, straighten the left. And continue at this pace. So straightening one knee on the exhale. Take one more round each side. We'll come back to that bent knee shape, And we'll straighten both knees. And then lift your hips up off the ceiling just a little bit more. Straighten your arms overhead. So engaging the lower core. We're going to come back to our goddess arms. We're going to come back to the knees bent and stacked over the hips. And then we're going to drop the knees halfway to the right and hold. Squeeze the block. Draw up through center over to the left. Squeeze. Breathe. Back up through center over to the right, the option to straighten the right knee. Can keep the right knee straight as we pass through center over to the left, or bend the right knee through the transition. Once you're over to the left, go ahead and bend the right knee straight in the left. Hold. Back over to the right. So final round, the option to straighten both knees. Up and over to the left. Come back through center. Lower the feet to the mat, interlace the hands behind the head. We inhale. On the exhale, lift up through the head, neck, and shoulders. Squeeze the block. Release and lower down. Set the block off to the side. Take your right hand and place it on top of your right thigh. Take your left hand on top of your right. We inhale. On the exhale, slide your hands towards your right knee. So a slight twist. We release and lower down. Left hand to thigh, right hand to top. Inhale. Exhale. Lift up and hold. Release and lower down. From here, we're going to make our way into tabletop. So you can rock on your back a few times or simply turn to one side. And we're using our tabletop as a transition. And we're going to come into down dog. So from tabletop, you can take your hands a little forward of your shoulders, maybe a little wider. And then we curl the toes, pick up the knees, and press back. So go ahead and pedal out through your feet so you can bend one knee, press the opposite heel. You can shift your hips side to side. So coming back to your down dog, we'll take a short sequence here. So we're going to inhale the right leg to the level of your hip, and then take your right foot and stack it on your left such that your great toe is to the left of your foot and the rest of your toes are to the right. And then from here, we're going to shift forward to plank. And now we're going to reverse the sequence. So we're going to come back to our down dog with our ankles crossed or stacked. And then we're going to come back to our three-legged down dog. So right leg reaches back. And now we lower the right foot next to the left and we change sides. So we inhale the left. We lower it on top of the right. We shift forward through plank. And know that every pose has a beginning, middle, and end. And our job is not to think about like enduring pose, right? You wanna experience it. So we come back to our down dog, stacked ankles. Back to our three-legged. That's the problem, when I talk, we end up staying in a pose longer than we should. And we come back to our down dog. So we're gonna lower to the knees and come back to tabletop. And we're gonna clear the space to the right and left of our mat. So we're gonna take the right leg, step it back behind, about the level of the hip, so the toes point down towards the floor. And from here, we're gonna sweep the right leg out to the right, so it's about the level, or up, kind of level with your left foot. And turn your toes out. And from here, we're gonna press the hips back, so we're gonna sit on that left heel. We're gonna rise back up onto the left knee. And then we're gonna walk the hands over to the right foot and stack them on top if that's possible. If you can't reach your foot, then you can put your hands on your legs. So a nice deep stretch on the left side. And then from here, we're gonna rainbow walk the hands over to the left. So the hands walk towards the top of your mat, and then we walk them all the way over to the left. So your left hand aligns with your left knee, and now we're gonna sweep the right arm up to the sky. So we've made our way into modified side plank. Maybe you gaze at your right thumb. And then from here, we're gonna stand up on the right knee and come into gatekeeper. So the right hand's gonna come to the inside of the right leg. Left arm sweeps up and overhead to the right. And now we come back to our three-legged tabletop. So the hands come down, and we sweep the right leg back behind. And we come into balancing tabletop, reaching the left arm forward. You can stay here or come into a bind. So bending the right knee as you sweep the left hand back. Maybe you catch the foot. If you catch the foot, you're kicking the foot into the hand. The hand is trying to bend the knee. So we open the hip, we open the shoulder. If you're in a bind, we come back through tabletop, or balancing tabletop, to tabletop. And then go ahead and press your hips back to your feet and take a moment in child. We rise from our child's pose, we come back through our tabletop. Same thing other side, so now we step the left foot back, the left leg back. We sweep it out to the side, lower the foot, turning the toes out. And we press both hips back to the right foot. Rise back up. And now we walk the hands over to the left foot. We take our rainbow walk over to the right side of the mat. And transition to our modified side plank. And now we we rise up on the right knee and side bend over to the left for gatekeeper pose, Parigrahasana. We come back to our three-legged tabletop, so the hands come down as we sweep the left leg back. And now we reach the right arm forward. Maybe take a bind. Come back to our balancing tabletop. To tabletop. So now we curl the toes, pick up the knees, press back to down dog. From your down dog, inhale your right leg to the level of your hip. On your exhale, step your foot through between your hands, lower your left knee. So we come into our low lunge. You can keep your left toes tucked today. So from here, we're gonna pick up and straighten the left knee and transition to high lunge or crescent pose. And now we lower the hands through prayer to the floor, coming into runners. And we're gonna take the right foot and heel toe walk it to the right, so the toes come off the mat but the heel stays on. Your right hand comes inside your right leg, so now the shoulder and the knee press against one another. We reach back through the left heel. And we're gonna come into pigeon. So, for me, I'm gonna walk my hands a little bit forward to give my right foot room to heel toe walk across my mat to the left side. And then we lower into single pigeon pose. So, just make sure your left hip, knee, ankle, and foot are aligned. You can draw your hands back, lift up your palms, draw your chest forward. So this next transition is a little different for me. So I'm gonna lower my palms. We're gonna come into a three-legged tabletop. So we're gonna rise up on the left knee as we sweep the right leg back. Lower the right knee next to the left. We curl the toes, pick up the knees. We come back to our down dog. So we're back at the beginning. And now we inhale the left. Exhale, step it through. Lower the right knee. Low lunge. And now we pick up and straighten the right knee, coming into crescent. We lower the palms to the floor, framing the left foot, coming into runners. And now we heel toe walk the left foot, coming into lizard. So our variation today is we're keeping the back knee lifted. And now we transition to our pigeon, heel toe, walking the left foot forward to the right. Now we lower the palms. We come into that three-legged tabletop, rising up on the right knee as we send the left leg back. And now we lower the left knee next to the right, curl the toes. Again, we come back to our down dog. We look forward to the hands, bend the knees, walk the feet, step the feet, jump the feet to the top. Inhale, halfway rise, flat back. Exhale, fold forward, bend the knees, sweep, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to prayer. So we're gonna take 1 round of half salute and then 2 rounds of full salute. But you could do whatever you want. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise with a flat back. Exhale, fold, bend the knees. Inhale, sweep, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to prayer. So now we add chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise with a flat back. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant your hands. You can jump or step your feet to plank. You can take plank on your knees. You can meet us in down dog. And then if you're in plank, you shift forward, lower chaturanga. And then inhale to your cobra, bhujangasana. Making your way back to your down dog on the exhale. Look forward to your hands, bend your knees, walk, step, or jump. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold forward, bend the knees, sweep, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to prayer. Last one, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant the hands, jump or step. Lower chaturanga. Inhale through your cobra. Exhale to your down dog. Look forward to your hands, bend your knees, walk, step, or jump. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees. Inhale, sweep, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to prayer. So we're going to go through a short standing sequence, working on some core strength. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise with a flat back. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant your hands, step your left foot to the back of the mat. So we come back to our runners. So in runners, you're trying to stack your right knee over your ankle, sit the hips low, draw the chest forward. We're going to come into easy twist. So the left hand comes underneath the left shoulder, and then we turn to the right, maybe take the right arm up to the sky. Maybe your gaze follows. And now we lower the right hand outside the right foot. We make space for the left foot. And we step the left foot forward. Stay really bent in your lower body. And then reach your arms forward. And then from here, we're going to take the arms overhead, coming into chair pose, Utkatasana. And now we're going to straighten the legs and fold forward. Inhale, halfway rise with a flat back. Exhale, fold, bend the knees. Inhale, sweep, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant the hands. We step the right foot to the back of the mat. We come into our easy twist. We lower the left hand outside the left foot. Make room for the right foot. We step it forward. We reach the arms forward. And now we take them skyward. And fold forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold, bend the knees. Inhale, sweep, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to prayer. So this next sequence is going to take us around our mat a little bit. Okay, so you can take your big toes together, little space between your heels. We're going to come back to chair pose. So we bend through the hips and knees, sweep the arms skyward. Put your weight into your right foot. Keep the shape that you have, but draw your left knee up to your chest. So one-legged chair, it's really hard. And now we're going to take the left body to the back of the mat and open to Vera 2. So right arm reaches forward, left arm reaches back, right heel bisects the left. We're going to continue our journey to the left. So all 10 toes are going to turn to the left. We're going to straighten both legs. You can take your feet as wide as you'd like. Arms are out to the side. And from here, we're going to come into a wide leg forward fold. So we're going to hinge at the hips, fold forward. Take the crown, the top of the head towards the floor, the hands follow. So the hands can bind with the feet. They can come between the feet, reach through, bind behind the back. And then wherever you are, we're going to come into a half forward fold. So the hands come beneath the shoulders. We lift up part way. And we're going to come into a variation of spider. So we're going to turn the toes out, heels in, bend through the hips and knees, and then walk the hands back towards your feet. Use your arms to lift up your lower legs. The next pose in the series is Skandasana towards the left leg. So we're going to keep the left leg bent. Shift your hips over to the left as you straighten the right leg. Right toes turn up towards the ceiling. So my left arm can go inside, which is easier than outside. And then the right arm reaches up and over to the left. And then drag that right heel back so you turn on your hamstring. From this pose, we're going to continue to turn to the left and come back to runners facing the back of the room. And then from runners, so we're going to come into a little bit of balance. We're going to come into standing split. So you're going to shift your body forward as you straighten your right leg, pick up your left. So your hands can be beneath your shoulders. You can keep your right toes pointed down towards the floor and call it a day. Or you can turn your toes out to the side, take the leg as high as it'll go, and then lower your chest to your left leg. Maybe your left hand wraps around. And maybe you want to open the hip a little bit more so you bend the knee. And you're feeling really groovy, so your left hand reaches for your right foot, and you come into a bind. If you're in a bind, release it, straighten the right leg. And now we lower the right foot next to the left. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. We rise up to stand, sweeping the arms. Exhale the hands to prayer. So now we're going to venture back towards the top of the mat. So now we're going to turn to the right. So again, we take the big toes together, we bend through the hips and knees. Utkatasana, powerful pose. And now we put weight into the left leg, draw the right knee up towards the chest. And now we step back to warrior 2.
now we turn all 10 toes to the left again. So again, you can widen your feet if you'd like, arms are out to the side. And now we hinge at the hips, fold forward.
Wide leg forward fold. Maybe you practice it the same way you did the first time, maybe you try something a little different. We come into a half wide leg forward fold with the hands beneath the shoulders. Again, we turn the toes out, heels in, bend through the hips and knees, and then walk the hands back. And now we come into Skandasana towards the right leg. So the right leg stays bent. We shift the hips over as we straighten the left leg. We continue to turn to the right, coming into runners facing the top of the mat. Back to our standing split. So we shift the hands forward, straighten the right leg, pick up the left. Maybe you stay in this L shape. Maybe you turn the left toes to the left, take the leg high. Lower your chest towards the right leg. And maybe come into that bind. Or not. Back to your standing split. And now we lower the left foot next to the right. Inhale halfway. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees. Inhale, sweep, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to prayer. So we're gonna come into half moon today. So maybe having your blocks at the top of your mat. We're also gonna come into triangle and side angle, so you can also use blocks for those poses too. And okay. We'll inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise with a flat back. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant your hands, step your left foot to the back of your mat. So just pass through runners. And then you're gonna take your left foot and swivel it down. So set up your Viratu leg. So your right heel bisects your left foot. And then leading with your left arm, cartwheel, open your arms and rise up Viratu. We're gonna turn the right palm up, lean back and surrender. Go ahead and straighten your right knee. So this is reverse triangle. We'll come back to our Vira arms. So the right arm reaches forward, left arm reaches back. You can heel toe walk your left foot up and in a little bit for stability. And we're gonna come into triangle pose. So we're gonna reach forward, hinge at the hips. The left hand can come to your leg, your ankle, foot. You can take a block, preferably on the outside of your foot, and then left arm reaches up to the sky. Utthita Trikonasana, you're trying to squeeze your legs in towards the center of the mat. If your gaze is up, turn it down towards the floor, bend your right knee. So simple side angle, you can take your right elbow to your thigh. You can take your hand to a block or the floor. Again, preferably with the block outside because that helps you open up your chest. And then you can take extended side angle by sweeping the left arm overhead. .
If your left arm is overhead, take it up to the sky. Now we're gonna transition to half moon. So you can gather in your block if you haven't already. You place the block about a foot above and out to the right a little bit. And again, we straighten the right knee as we pick up the left leg. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. From here, we're gonna bend the right knee, float step back to Vira 2. Turn your right arm to the, right palm to the sky. Again, we surrender. And now we cartwheel the hands down to frame the right foot as we pivot to the left toes. And we step the left foot forward. We'll go right into the other side. So we're gonna inhale, halfway rise with a flat back. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant the hands, step the right foot to the back of the mat. So we come through runners. And now we spin the right heel down. So the left heel bisects the right foot, and now we cartwheel open, right arm leading to Vira 2. We turn the left palm up, lean back and surrender. Go ahead and straighten your left knee. We come back to our Vira 2 arms. So you can heel toe walk your right foot in. And now we reach forward, hinge at the hips, Utthita Trikonasana. If your gaze is up, turn it down towards the floor, and then go ahead and bend your left knee, transition to your side angle. Maybe coming into extended by sweeping the right arm overhead, so you're creating a long line of energy from your right foot to your right pinky. Right arm reaches back up to the sky. We turn the gaze down towards the floor. Grab your block and come into your half moon. And then go ahead and bend your left knee, float step back to Vira 2. We turn the left palm up and again we surrender. We cartwheel the hands down to frame the left foot as we spin to the right toes. We step the right foot forward. Inhale halfway. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees, sweep, rise to stand. Exhale, hands, prayer. I have to cut some things out. I get a little ambitious. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise with a flat back. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant your hands, step your left foot to the back of the mat, lower your left knee. So we're gonna come back to our low lunge. Have your blocks handy, because we're gonna come into half splits. So we'll start with our low lunge. And you can take your sits bones down towards the floor, so posterior pelvic tilt, and then you should feel the left front of the hip turn on. So we're engaging the psoas muscle. We're gonna lower the hands through prayer. For me, I like to use blocks. So we're gonna straighten the right leg and draw the toes up towards the ceiling. So you can stay up high. So if you feel a stretch here, then that's enough. If you don't feel a stretch, you can lower your blocks or remove them altogether
and then fold forward if you're still not feeling anything. And then to come out of the pose, we're gonna just very gently, if you're folded forward, lift your upper body and then lower your right foot to the mat. Set your blocks off to the side, hands come down and frame the right foot. We curl the toes in the left, pick up and straighten the left knee. We step the left foot forward. We'll go right into the other side. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, plant your hands, step your right foot to the back of the mat. Lower your knee. So again, coming into that posterior tilt, you feel the front of the right hip turn on. And now we transition to our half split. So maybe gathering in your blocks. So we straighten the left leg, draw the toes back towards the face. And then decide where you want to practice, where you want to end the pose. And then to come out of the pose, we lift up through the upper body, we slide the left foot back. The hands come and frame the left foot, we curl the toes, pick up the knee. And step the right foot forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, we're gonna fold forward, plant the hands, step the feet back to down dog. And now we'll lower the knees to the mat. So you can keep your toes tucked. We're gonna come into camel ustrasana. You could also have your blocks handy. Have them down by your feet. So in ustrasana, camel pose, we stand on the knees and we stack the hips over the knees. The hands come to the back of the hips. You can have your fingers pointed down or up. And then draw your elbows in. So camel, you open your chest and look up. So this is version 1. Version 2, you can drop one hand to your foot and maybe take the other overhead, or maybe they both come to your feet. You could also use the blocks, version 3. And then to come out of the pose, your hands come to the back of your hips. Engage your core muscles, so this protects your back. And then stand your shoulders over your hips. Untuck your toes, sit your hips back onto your feet. So this is hero's pose. If this is uncomfortable, you can put a block between your feet. You could even put 2 blocks in a blanket and feel like you're sitting on a throne. Nice. Should have done that at the beginning. Oh well. So in our hero's pose, we'll take an easy twist. So right hand outside your left knee, reach your left arm back. We unwind from the pose, come back through center, left hand outside the right. So one of the poses that is good for postpartum women is shoulder stand. So your blanket is already folded for you. If you're at home, you could always use two. And you take, oops, wrong way. So you take the non-fringe end of the blanket. I don't know which way I wanna go. So the non-fringe part is where your shoulders are gonna go. So the blanket is at the top of your shoulders, your neck and your head are on the mat. So this just gives you a little bit support. So go ahead. So shoulders are on the mat, neck and head shoulders are on the blanket, neck and head are on the mat. And then we can come into bridge pose, so hips and knees bent, feet flat. Press through your feet, lift your hips. And then take your hands to your low back. And then you take your feet and kick them up over your head. So your feet point up towards the ceiling. And you walk your hands to your low back area. If this sounds crazy, you can just put a block under your hips. And then take your feet up, keeping your hips on the block. So shoulder stand is considered the queen pose. The king pose would be headstand. So this is a really nice inversion, increased blood flow to the brain. And then when you're ready to come out of your shoulder stand, you just lower your hips all the way down to the mat, lower your feet. Just pause for a few moments. Recall the intention that you set for yourself at the start of practice. So go ahead and take this opportunity to practice a pose that we didn't do in practice. As we prepare for Shavasana. If you'd like in Shavasana today, you can roll up your blanket and place it along your spine and under your head. You could also roll your blanket and place it underneath your knees. You could put blocks under your feet. Very gently press your heels into the mat or the floor and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the tension in the legs. Excuse me, allow them to roll out if they haven't already. And then very gently pressing the backs of the hands into the floor of the mat and holding 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing the tension in the arms and chest. Soften through the face. Just as a lotus flower blossoms from the mud, you too are blossoming through the beautiful mess of motherhood. your physical presence. Adding movement through the hands, the feet. Drawing the legs up, placing the feet flat on the mat. Turning to your right side, pausing there for a few moments. Gently pressing yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Thank you for joining me in practice today. Namaste. Shanti, 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 peace. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.